In 1958, Japan tries to export its first passenger cars to the US market. The company was Toyota. The car was called Toyo Pet. And as you can guess from the name, it was a very cheap, small, subcompact car, more of a 4 wheels and an ashtray kind of thing, which Toyota hoped rich American consumers could pick up as an afterthought after that finishing their grocery shopping with the changes left. Unfortunately, it was a total flop. So much so that Toyota actually had to withdraw the product. Yeah? And in the realm of failure, this is like the biggest thing. Yeah? I mean, it's not just not selling well, it had to be withdrawn from the market. And this provoked a very heated debate in Japan. The free trade economies centered around the Bank of Japan, the central bank, said, look, this is what happens that when you go against the theory of comparative advantage. You know, in a country like Japan, which in relative terms has lots of labor and little capital, we shouldn't be producing things like motor cars, which are very capital intensive in production. And of course, at the time, Japan's biggest export item was silk. So, case proven already. And they said, and don't tell us that you couldn't succeed because you didn't have help. Because you had 25 years of very high tariff protection. We kicked out all the foreign car makers 20 years ago and didn't let any of them in since then. And back in 1949, the central bank even injected public money into Toyota to save it from bankruptcy. So please don't tell us that you couldn't succeed because you didn't have help, because you had all the help you can ask for. You know, today it sounds a bit kind of strange that the Japanese were debating on whether to keep producing motor cars. I mean, it's a bit like the French having a national debate on whether to discontinue wine production, or the Scots that deciding whether to do away with the smoked salmon industry. But if you went back in time and thought about this from the vantage point of view of 1958, actually I think the free trade economies made more sense. What was Japan? I mean, the Japan's income was basically at the same level as that of South Africa and Argentina. You know, in 1961, as late as 1961, Japan's per capita income was $402 in current terms, and Chile's income was $378. It was a very poor country whose main export item was silk. Well, luckily for Japan, and I would say for the rest of the world, which subsequently benefited from efficient Japanese cars, the protectionists won the day, and the Japanese government continued with the support for the industry. And as you all know, the rest is history.